The early part of the descent looks pretty normal. They're doing a dive and drive approach. They level off at 9,000, 5,000, 4,000. Look at that. That's odd. Can you blow that up?
They make an important discovery.
Look, they hold at 3,000 feet for an entire 2 minutes. That's way too long. And then they plunge steeply. Bring up the final approach they were supposed to take. It's not even close.
On normal approaches, the glide path allows the airplane to descend on a general 3-degree path all the way down to the runway.
It looks like they started their final approach too late.
And then have to race to catch up.
The data shows that after delaying their approach, the pilots descended very steeply and at twice the normal rate.
Once they started diving the airplane down to 2,000 feet a minute to get to that lower altitude, that approach was unstable. And at that point in time, they should have executed a go-around.
The controller told us they acknowledged his instruction to descend.
Zipline 1526, the Piper is on the ground. You are cleared for localizer 25 approach.
Cleared for localizer 25. Thank you.
They're cleared to descend, and then they wait a full 2 minutes. Why?
We really wondered, what is the situation in the cockpit at that time?
NTSB investigators turned to the cockpit voice recorder from Flight 1526 to understand why the pilots delayed their final descent into Akron.
Take it from the first instruction about that Piper.
Zipline 1526, we do have an aircraft inbound to the airport that is slower than you. Fly heading 360, reduce speed 170, descend and maintain 3,000.
Down to 3,000, 170 is the speed, and 360. Zipline 1526. Down to 3,000, he wants 170 knots.
Okay. I'll have to drag everything.
Somebody lowered the landing gear to start slowing the airplane up and creating drag to hopefully get a little bit more spacing between them and the other airplane.
Did you hear what he said? There's another plane on the approach. He's slower than us. We don't know if he's on the ground yet.
The captain was very concerned about the spacing between them and the training flight and was saying that to the co-pilot.
Did you hear that?
Investigators hear the sound of the engine thrust decreasing.
Let's see the airspeed again. The airspeed drops from 170 down to 140. That is way slower than he needs to be going.
Look, you're going 140.
Zipline 1526, the Piper is on the ground. You are cleared for localizer 25 approach.
Cleared for localizer 25.
Thank you.
Flight 1526 is now at 3,000 feet and positioned to fly straight into Akron Airport.
They should start their descent.
Why did the pilots delay their descent for 2 minutes, forcing them to catch up?
You're going 120. You can't keep decreasing your speed.
Once the co-pilot received the warning from the captain that they were too slow, the co-pilot should have increased thrust significantly.
But instead, the pilots get into a debate.
Oh, 120. Where do you get 120? It's more like 125, which is the approach speed.
But you've still got the flaps to go.
And when they go down...
This is what I'm saying. If you continue decreasing your speed...
But why?
Because we're going to stall. I don't want to stall.
How do we...
Stop. They are so busy arguing about their speed that they forget to start their descent.
There was about 2 minutes of conversation concerning the airplane's speed. The pilot and first officer were actually arguing that it was getting too slow.
That delay of almost 2 minutes was critical. He's already too slow, and he's overflown the altitude he should be at, and now they've got to chase the approach. Now he's got to get the airplane down fast.
Okay.
What investigators hear next is even more shocking.
Hey guys, we just landed on the localizer and broke out right at minimums.
They were notified that the smaller airplane had landed safely on the runway.
Full flaps.
Stop. Full flaps at that speed? What was he thinking? Bring up the altitude graph again.
Well, hey, that's why the plane starts to drop like a rock.
The team finally understands why Flight 1526 ended up in a 2,000 feet per minute descent, twice the recommended rate.